White supremacy wasn't just something I believed. It was my identity. It was in every aspect of my life. If my counselor hadn't seen the humanity in me and treated me with kindness, despite the fact that I had once advocated for the annihilation of him and his people, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
Go ahead. Tony, take one.
My name's Tony McAleer, and I'm the author of The Cure for Hate, a former white supremacist journey from violent extremism to radical compassion. I spent 15 years in the white supremacist movement from the early 80s to the late 90s, and I was a skinhead, became a leader, and I became a media figure and a Holocaust denier, and people were terrified of me, and that was a feeling I'd never experienced in my life. That feeling of power, false power, after winning an altercation and being able to lord over someone with violence instead of being on the receiving end of it. I got attention when I felt invisible. I got acceptance when I felt unlovable. And I got power when I felt powerless. It became my entire life. It was all-consuming. When I was in the movement and I was operating from shame and spewing my shame as hate throughout the world, people tried to heap more shame on me. If shame is at the root of the problem, how can shame be the answer? It's not. It doesn't work. People get into these movements because of their disconnection from humanity, and the way people come back to humanity is through connection. It was the birth of my children really changed that for me. And I remember holding my little daughter in the delivery room, and I'm the first person to hold her, and she opens her eyes, and I connect with her. I connected with another human being since I couldn't remember when, because I was cut off from my heart when I was involved in the movement. As I started to rebuild my life, the fear became of getting exposed, of my past coming back to haunt me and will ruin this new life that I've created. I had a great coach and mentor who helped me work through all of my vulnerabilities and all of my childhood wounds, and did a lot of healing work with me. When I was sitting in the room with my counselor, I remember him saying to me, "That's what you did, that's not who you are. I see you." And in that moment, I sobbed, because for the first time, somebody saw me. That was the first time I learned that being vulnerable was powerful. Vulnerability is not a weak thing, and that was a huge lesson for me. Those experiences of connection are profoundly transforming. And it often revolves around receiving compassion from someone who we don't feel we deserve it from someone who we had once dehumanized. When we're open, we're curious, we're authentic, we're courageous in our activities, we're daring, we give other people permission to do the same. It's important to know that no matter how far out you've gone, change is possible. And I truly believe no one is irredeemable. But I think that we have to realize that as individuals, when we choose connection, we put that into the world, we can have a huge impact. Simple acts of kindness that infects society in a good way. It goes viral in a human way, and change happens. It really does start with us.